This is Shane Stevens from Jackson Community College. Or just Jackson College, I'm sorry.
30 seconds.
The first line from the suicide note Leila Alcorn scheduled to post to her Tumblr before she stepped in front of a semi-trailer to her death read, "If you are reading this, it means that I have committed suicide and obviously failed to delete this from my queue. Please don't be sad, it's for the better," the note went on. "The life I would have lived isn't worth living in, because I'm transgender." At the age of 4, Leila knew she felt like a girl trapped in a boy's body. At 14, she learned what it meant to be transgender, and she cried of happiness, because after 10 years of confusion, she finally understood who she was. Leila wasn't the first. In 1966, Marsha P. Johnson and her drag queen and transgender friends stood on the edge of a new frontier. They didn't accept the societal construct of the gender binary. They wanted to express their genders their way. When authorities came into their safe place at the Compton's cafeteria to arrest them for dressing as the gender opposite of their sex, they didn't go without a fight. The Stonewall riots ensued, and for the first time, the idea that the gender binary needed to be challenged finally got some attention. That was then. And obviously, that attention wasn't enough. The idea of gender binary is still oppressive. Trans people are ostracized. Trans people are called cross-dresser, deviant, sex worker, sick, confused. Later in her suicide note, Leila says, "Either I live the rest of my life as a lonely man who wishes he were a woman, or I live my life as a lonelier woman who hates herself." I think we have choices. We make choices every day. Changing an ideology as ingrained in our society as the gender binary isn't for the weak at heart, it's for the brave. Let's choose to use better language, respect, and caring. Let's choose not to forget that this is an issue. Leila gave her life to encourage us to fix society, to explore how the idea of gender has shaped our world as oppressive for those that just don't fit and challenge beliefs. Iggy Azalea raps, "Impossible is nothing." In her song of the same name, she says, "Promise to want for more until my very last breath. Promise to blaze a path and leave a trail for the rest. Just promise me when you're gone you won't forget." That was Leila's wish. She wanted her death to mean something. She took her extreme to blaze a path for society to follow. Not to suicide, but to explore a new frontier of thought where gender isn't so rigid. This is my wish too. "The only way I will rest in peace," Leila says, "is if one day transgender people aren't treated the way I was. They're treated like humans, with valid feelings and human rights." Leila's parents are so committed to their idea of gender that they have never referred to her as Leila. And they have had her Tumblr, her suicide note, and all of her artwork removed. Her online presence gives generic response, "Nothing found here." It is so easy to pretend not to care or simply to forget. I don't want Leila to have left in vain. I am grateful for the path that she has blazed into the gender frontier, and I am grateful for the path that we as Phi Theta Kappans have chosen. May we be wise in our judgments, may we aspire to find our own frontiers, and may we be pure, free from anything that debases, contaminates, or pollutes. And I promise you, Leila, we won't forget.
What does Phi Theta Kappa mean to you?
Phi Theta Kappa means to me is acceptance and encouragement. When I started Phi Theta Kappa, I was scared. I was scared to do anything. Martha, my advisor, we all know Martha, had to pretty much force me to come to Locke last year. I had my friend Savannah on standby, and she was like ready to drive the 4 hours to come and get me because I was terrified to be there. But when I got there, everyone was so great to me, everyone's so open, and Haley met with a hug, and she told me that she has anxiety too, and it wasn't an issue anymore. I spent the whole weekend, I never called my friend to come and get me, and I had a blast. So to me, Phi Theta Kappa means acceptance, to be included, to be supported, and I love that.
Shane, how would you describe the color yellow to a blind person?
The color yellow is my grandma's favorite. It's sweet, it's kind, it's bright, it's open. That's a hard question. I never really thought about that, but I think those are words that I would use. It feels like warmth.
Shane, if you had a time machine and could go anywhere in time, past, present, or future, where would you go and why?
I know I wrote about Leela because I wish that I could change that. Because I know what it feels like to be there, to be ostracized and to feel alone for who you are, for something that you can't change. So if I could go, I would go back to December 28th, 2014, somewhere in Ohio, and I'd say, Leela, don't do it. That's where I would go.
You're a stinker because I don't well up very often. If you woke up tomorrow and had 2,000 unread emails in your inbox, and you could only open and reply to 300, how would you choose the 300?
Oh, my word. I would have to go randomly. There really is, wow. Do they have a really great subject line? If they have a good subject line, I'd probably, I mean, maybe something would catch my eye or something like that, but if not, then randomly, because there's really no way to say, if I had one for my mom, I'd probably open that one. You know, I love my mom, so.
Shane, describe how one of your top 5 strengths will contribute to the regional board.
One of my top, oh, I don't have my thing on. One of my top 5 strengths is empathy. And that's something that I live for. It's going to help. Empathy is so important for everything, for relating and learning and knowing what other people are like, and making people feel included and loved and being open. And that's probably my favorite. I was so happy when I got, it's the 5th one. I was like, why isn't this higher? But empathy would probably be the most helpful for me. I actually have some pretty good ones too, restorative and activator and stuff like that. Those are good for but I like empathy the best because it helps people feel related to and appreciated and understood.
Thank you.